In the heart of France, during the 1600s, nestled amidst dense forests and rolling hills, lay the quaint village of Villeneuve. This village, though picturesque, harbored secrets that stretched beyond the whispers of the townsfolk. One such secret was an ancient artifact known only to a select few, the Mirror of Verite. This mystical mirror, unlike any other, revealed not just the physical reflection of those who gazed into it, but their true selves, their virtues and flaws laid bare for all to see. The mirror had passed through many hands over the centuries, each owner experiencing profound revelations and often profound regret. It was said to have been crafted by a sorcerer in the time of Charlemagne, imbuing it with an enchantment that could strip away the masks people wore and expose their innermost character. Legends told of kings who, upon seeing their true selves, were driven to madness, and of commoners who found strength that they never knew they possessed. Our tale begins in the year 1667 in a crumbling chateau on the outskirts of Villeneuve. This chateau, though grand in its heyday, now stood as a shadow of its former self, much like its sole occupant, the vampire known as Lucien Devereux. Lucien was a creature of the night, cursed with immortality and a thirst for blood, but he was also a man tormented by his own existence. Once a nobleman of great repute, his transformation into a vampire had cast a pall over his soul, and he had since wandered through the centuries, a restless and troubled being. Lucien's descent into darkness was marked by moments of intense introspection and regret. He longed for redemption, but found it ever elusive, his vampiric nature constantly at odds with his desire for a semblance of humanity. It was during one of his nocturnal wanderings through the abandoned halls of his chateau that he stumbled upon the Mirror of Verite, concealed beneath a dusty, moth-eaten cloth. Drawn to the mirror by an inexplicable force, Lucien hesitated before uncovering it, his heart. A heart that had long ceased to beat, thudding with an eerie anticipation. He had heard whispers of such a mirror, tales told by those who trafficked in the arcane and the forbidden. Now, standing before it, he was gripped by both fear and curiosity. With a trembling hand, he pulled the cloth away, revealing the mirror's ornate frame, adorned with intricate carvings of mythical creatures and ancient symbols. As he gazed into the reflective surface, he saw not the monster he had become, but the man he once was. The reflection shifted and changed, revealing glimpses of his past, a past filled with both noble deeds and grievous sins. For the first time in centuries, Lucien saw himself not just as a vampire, but as a soul caught in the throes of an eternal struggle. He saw the intelligence that had once made him a revered scholar, the empathy that had driven him to help the less fortunate, the discipline that had earned him a place in the royal court, and the capacity for mentorship that had guided many young minds. But he also saw the arrogance, the cruelty, and the selfishness that had paved the way for his downfall. The mirror did not judge, it merely revealed, and in its revelation, Lucien found a spark of hope. Perhaps he thought there was a way to reconcile the duality of his existence. Perhaps through understanding his true self, he could find a path to redemption. Thus began Lucien's journey of self-discovery, a journey that would take him beyond the confines of his chateau and into the heart of Villeneuve. He started by reconnecting with the world he had long shunned, venturing into the village under the cover of night to observe and, when necessary, to intervene. One evening, as he prowled the outskirts of the village, he came upon a group of brigands accosting a young woman. Without hesitation, Lucien intervened, his vampiric strength overpowering the assailants with ease. The woman, though terrified at first, recognized the nobility in his actions and thanked him profusely. Her gratitude stirred something within Lucien, a reminder of the empathy he had once felt so keenly. In the days that followed, Lucien continued to aid the villagers in subtle ways, using his abilities to protect and provide without revealing his true nature. He helped mend broken fences, delivered food to the hungry, and ensured that those in need found comfort and safety. Each act of kindness, however small, chipped away at the darkness that had long enveloped his soul, remained ever present in his mind, a silent witness to his transformation. He would return to it frequently, seeking its guidance and confronting the aspects of himself that he struggled to accept. It was a painful process, one that required immense courage and honesty. But with each revelation, Lucien grew stronger, his resolve to redeem himself solidifying. One night, as he stood before the mirror, he saw a vision of a young boy, frightened and alone. The boy's face was streaked with tears, his eyes wide with fear. Lucien recognized the boy as a reflection of his own inner child, the part of him that had been most affected by his transformation. In that moment, he understood that true wisdom lay not just in confronting his own character, but in nurturing and healing it. Determined to put this newfound understanding into practice, Lucien sought out a young orphan named Pierre who lived on the streets of Villeneuve. Pierre was a bright but troubled child, prone to mischief, and often in trouble with the law. Seeing himself in the boy, Lucien took Pierre under his wing, offering him shelter and guidance. Under Lucien's mentorship, Pierre flourished. The boy's intelligence and curiosity were nurtured, and he soon developed a keen interest in the natural sciences. Lucien taught him everything he knew, sharing his vast knowledge and encouraging Pierre to pursue his dreams. In return, Pierre's youthful exuberance and optimism brought light into Lucien's life, helping him rediscover the joy of living. As the years passed, Lucien's reputation in Villeneuve transformed from that of a mysterious recluse to a benevolent guardian. The villagers, though unaware of his true nature, came to respect and trust him. And Lucien, through his interactions with them, continued to grow, learning the value of compassion, humility, and selflessness. But the mirror's revelations were not yet complete. One fateful night, as Lucien gazed into its depths, he saw a vision of a powerful vampire lord, intent on wreaking havoc upon the village. This vampire, unlike Lucien, reveled in his monstrous nature, delighting in the suffering of others. The vision filled Lucien with dread, but also with a sense of purpose. He knew that he could not allow such evil to befall the people he had come to care for. Summoning all his courage, Lucien confronted the vampire lord, using both his intellect and his strength to outwit and overpower his foe. The battle was fierce, and Lucien was gravely injured, but in the end, he emerged victorious. The villagers, unaware of the true nature of the threat, hailed him as a hero. As he lay recovering from his wounds, Lucien returned to the mirror one last time. In its reflection, he saw not the tormented vampire he had once been, but a man who had faced his demons and emerged stronger for it. He saw the virtues he had cultivated, intelligence, empathy, discipline, and mentorship shining brightly, and he knew that he had finally found the redemption he had long sought. Self-discovery, his interactions with the villagers, his mentorship of Pierre, and the ultimate confrontation with the vampire lord. As the years turned into decades, Lucien's presence in Villeneuve became a stabilizing force. Though he moved among the villagers, mostly under the cover of night, his actions were felt throughout the community. His interventions, subtle but impactful, brought a sense of security and prosperity that had long been absent. Pierre, now a young man, had blossomed under Lucien's guidance. His studies in the natural sciences led him to make several notable discoveries, which earned him respect and recognition far beyond the borders of Villeneuve. Despite his growing fame, Pierre remained humble, always attributing his success to the mysterious mentor who had taken him in. Lucien watched with pride as Pierre's reputation grew. The young man embodied the virtues that Lucien had rediscovered within himself: intelligence, empathy, discipline, and a deep commitment to helping others. Pierre's achievements were not just his own, but a testament to the redemptive power of mentorship and the transformative potential of embracing one's true nature. Yet, despite these successes, Lucien's heart was not entirely at peace. The vision of the vampire lord in the Mirror of Verite continued to haunt him. He knew that his ultimate test was yet to come, and he could not afford to become complacent. Lucien spent countless hours studying the mirror, seeking further insights, into the nature of his adversary and preparing for the inevitable confrontation. One night, as Lucien gazed into the mirror, he saw a new vision. It was of a young woman, radiant and pure, her face alight with hope and determination. She was a healer, traveling from village to village, offering her skills to those in need. Lucien felt an immediate connection to her, sensing that she too carried a burden of darkness within her, a burden she sought to overcome through acts of kindness. Intrigued, Lucien decided to seek her out. Her name was Isabelle, and she had heard of Villeneuve's mysterious guardian. When Lucien approached her, he did so with caution, revealing his true nature only after earning her trust. Isabelle, though initially startled by the revelation, recognized the goodness in Lucien and welcomed his companionship. Isabelle's presence brought a new dimension to Lucien's life. Her unwavering faith in the potential for redemption, despite her own struggles, inspired him deeply. Together they worked to heal the sick and aid the needy, their combined efforts transforming Villeneuve into a beacon of hope. As they spent more time together, Lucien found himself falling in love with Isabelle. This love, pure and selfless, was unlike anything he had experienced before. It gave him a renewed sense of purpose and strengthened his resolve to confront the vampire lord. One fateful night, as the full moon cast its silvery glow over Villeneuve, the vampire lord finally arrived. His presence was heralded by a chill in the air and an unnatural stillness that fell over the village. Lucien, sensing the imminent threat, prepared himself for battle. He knew that this confrontation would not only determine his fate, but the fate of the entire village. The vampire lord, known as Alaric, was a formidable opponent. He was centuries old, his power and malevolence unmatched. When Lucien confronted him, the clash was titanic, their supernatural abilities pushing each other to the brink. The battle raged through the night, each moment a test of strength, cunning, and will. Despite his injuries, Lucien fought with a ferocity fueled by his love for Isabelle and his commitment to the villagers he had come to protect. Alaric, sensing the depth of Lucien's resolve, sought to exploit his emotions, taunting him with visions of failure and despair. But Lucien, having faced his own demons in the Mirror of Verite, was not so easily swayed. He drew upon the virtues he had cultivated, his intelligence guiding his strategy, his empathy fueling his determination, his discipline sustaining him through the pain, and his mentorship of Pierre, reminding him of what was at stake. In a final desperate move, Lucien managed to land a decisive blow, incapacitating Alaric and ending the threat he posed to Villeneuve. The victory, hard-won and costly, was a testament to Lucien's journey of self-discovery and redemption. As dawn broke, Lucien, gravely wounded, was found by Isabelle and Pierre. They tended to his injuries, their love and care a balm to his weary soul. Though he knew his time was limited, Lucien felt a profound sense of peace. He had faced his true self, confronted his past, and emerged stronger for it. In the days that followed, Lucien's health deteriorated. Despite their best efforts, Isabelle and Pierre could not save him. But Lucien did not fear death. He had found his redemption not through denial of his nature, but through embracing it and using it for good. On his final night, Lucien requested to be taken to the Mirror of Verite one last time. As he gazed into its depths, he saw not the monster he had once been, but the man he had become. The mirror reflected his journey, his struggles, his triumphs, and the love that had given his life meaning. With a smile, Lucien closed his eyes and let the peace of the mirror's revelation wash over him. He passed away quietly, surrounded by those he loved and who loved him in return. His legacy lived on in the hearts of the villagers, in Pierre's continued work, and in the memory of a man who had found redemption through the mirror's truth. The Mirror of Verite, its purpose fulfilled once more, faded into obscurity, waiting for the next troubled soul to seek its revelations. And in the village of Villeneuve, the story of Lucien Devereux, the vampire who found redemption, became legend, a testament to the power of self-discovery and the enduring quest for wisdom. Lucien's story would not be the last to unfold in Villeneuve, nor would it be the final chapter.